Hello, friends, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is Tiffany Stout from the Austin, Texas area with your Wednesday wisdom, and I wanted to share something with you today that is just so basic. I kind of did the same thing last week. I promised you I was going to share a message with you that was nothing new and nothing that you haven't heard before, and I talked about the numbers and how our business is all mathematical. It's not magical. So I kind of want to stick along the same theme and really loved Amber's message yesterday. If you didn't have a chance to listen to it, make sure you go back and you listen, because she brought up something that, again, is just so foundational to our company and our success as beauty consultants, and that was the 4-point recruiting plan. And so kind of brought up what I want to share with you today, because I think it's so important that we stick to the basics and that we work the basics how Mary Kay Ash taught us to, and then we teach others to do the same thing so that we find success in doing things the Mary Kay way, and we bring others alongside us and teach them to do it the same way also. So I wanted to talk today about the 8-point close at your individual consultations. And what I love about this is something that I was so uncomfortable with when I started my Mary Kay business, which was selling. I did not want to sell. Y'all, let me just tell you that my first job out of college was in sales. And I quit after 2 months before they could fire me because I was so bad at it. I hated selling. I did not want to sell. I was so uncomfortable with it. So the idea of becoming a Mary Kay consultant and selling Mary Kay products was just so far from anything I had any desire to do, because I just knew I was going to be a miserable failure at it. And so I was just terrified. I just did not like the feeling and the idea of selling. And so when I learned the 8-point close and how to do this at the individual consultation at the end of every one of my parties with every single person individually, let me tell you, it was a game changer. Okay, let me tell you why. It's because it was not, it didn't make me feel like I was selling. I felt like I was just sharing and communicating and listening and asking questions and building a relationship and all the things that it should be, but I didn't know that that's what it was supposed to be because I was so concerned with the idea and the premise of selling. So really, when I took the selling part out of it, I actually started selling more. Ironic, I know. So that's why I want to share this with you, because I think the 8-point close is so important. If you've ever struggled with wrapping your mind around the idea of selling, I just want you to kind of scratch that conversation from your mind, that limiting belief that you're not good at sales, that you can't sell, or that the product doesn't sell, because it does. And I want you to make a decision that you are going to practice doing the 8-point close at your individual consultations with every person. Okay, so that means every party you do, at the end of it, you get each person away from the table into a separate area, just you and her one-on-one. She is entitled to that one-on-one time with you for her personal beauty consultation with you, her personal beauty consultant. Okay, so you're going to tell them throughout the party that they are going to get this one-on-one time with you at the end so they can ask their own personal questions, and you can tailor things specifically for them, that you don't need to cover all of that like in the group setting, because they're going to get a chance to ask you individual personalized questions, okay? And people want that. They love the group time. Don't get me wrong. They love the girl time. They love having the party. They love the fun of all of that. But they also crave and desire that one-on-one individualized, personalized attention. Okay, especially the heckler of the group. She's the one that's attention seeking. So she might be the one that you take away from the group first and say, you know what, girl, come with me. You had a lot of questions. I want to answer them for you first. So you're going to take them individually into a separate space. And I know you can do this virtually too. If you're doing Zoom, you can go into breakout rooms and things like that. So this is something that you do not want to miss out on. This is the key. It is the game changer for everything, is to get people individually one-on-one with you. Okay. And I know it feels uncomfortable at first, but sometimes the uncomfortable things you're going to have to do in order to make it feel comfortable eventually. So when you get them away from the group, you're going to ask them a series of 8 questions. These are your 8 points. And these things they're so important. Mary Kay taught us to do these because they work. Okay, because they work. And there's some other things with cute little nicknames and things like that within this 8-point close that really is just kind of scripted, to be honest with you. Mary Kay taught us to memorize this and then to put some feeling and emotion into it when we're sharing it or asking these questions of people individually. So not just asking the questions to check a box, but asking them because we truly care. I care about this woman sitting across the table from me, and I want to help meet her needs. If the products that I have, that I own, that I possess can change her, can help her feel better, can help her skin improve, can help her get results that she is looking for, that she desires, that she wants, by all means, I want to know that. I'm not going to know that if I don't ask her questions. I can't just assume that I know things about her and what she needs, because everyone is different and they deserve to be heard and seen by you. So you are going to ask these questions and let her answer. Okay, let me just say that. Let her answer the questions. Sometimes we get uncomfortable because there might be like an awkward silence and you just want to jump in and be like, okay, yeah, so, and you start to talk and she's just like, girl, like, you asked me a question. Give me time to process. Give me time to think about it before I come up with my answer, before you jump all over me and like interrupt in my thoughts and don't even let me think about what I want to say. Okay, so give her time to answer. All right, question number 1. Are you ready? And if you don't know these, I can get them posted online for you if you don't have time or you're not able to write them down right now because you're driving or something. So the first is, did you have a good time tonight? I mean, it's like so simple, right? It sounds so simple. But when you ask these questions, sorry, you can hear my dog. You can hear her. She's sitting right next to me. So if you ask these questions, you're going to do something called snag. Okay, I forgot to mention this before. I'm going in the other room, so you can't hear my dog if she decides to stretch and scratch again. Okay, so you're going to do something called snag, which is an acronym. It stands for smile, nod, ask questions, and gesture, like using hand movements, okay? So it's kind of hard to do it when you can't see me in person doing this, but I'm just going to go through these really quick. So when you ask the question, did you have a good time tonight? I don't know if you can hear it, but there should be a smile coming through the phone in my voice, okay? You want to smile. You're going to ask her questions to get to know her. Did you have a good time tonight? And she's going to say, oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anybody go, no, this was not fun. Like, no, they're not going to say that. They're going to go, yeah, this was good. It was, it was better than I expected. Or, yeah, this was really fun. I was looking forward to it. Whatever. Okay, great. Oh, I'm so glad you came. I'm glad you had fun. Okay, great. You're making conversation, building rapport. Question number 2 is, doesn't your skin feel great? It's not really a question. This is point number 2 of the 8-point close. Doesn't your skin feel great? I guess it's kind of a question, but you're kind of leading the question, right? And as you ask this question, you are gently rubbing the back side of your fingers across your jawline, kind of up and down, like touching it, but not with the palm of your hand, the back of your fingers. Like, doesn't your skin feel great? And you're like nodding your head up and down and gesturing with your hand, like, doesn't your skin feel great? And she does the same thing. It's so funny to watch this happen because it's all psychology. And you will watch as she will do the same exact thing as you do. She will touch her face, the back of her hand, and she'll start nodding and going, yeah, it does actually. Skin does feel really good. It's just Just try it. I promise. I guarantee you're going to have someone do it and you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It works. It's so funny. So smiling and nodding, asking questions and gesturing, snag, it works. All right. Doesn't your skin feel great? And she's going to go, yeah, it does. It feels really good. The next one. Until your follow-up facial, did I answer all of your questions? And she might have a couple questions. Yeah, answer the questions, okay? Until your follow-up facial, did I answer all of your questions? Do you see how this question assumes that she's going to book a follow-up facial with you? Aha! Don't you love that? Because you're going to book a follow-up facial with her. All right, point number 4. Are you ready? All right, so point number 4 is where you are asking for the sale. Now, I'm assuming that you've closed the sale and given her set options at the table. You've done a table close. Now you're here at the individual close. And so now you're going to ask her, out of all the sets that you saw today, what would you most like to take home with you? Okay, this is the part where it can have an awkward silence, right? Out of all the sets that you saw today, or out of all the sets that I shared with you today, which would you most like to take home with you? Now, let me tell you, the person who speaks next is the one who's going home with the product. Okay? And you don't want it to be you. You don't want to go home with it. You already got your product at home. You want her to go home with the product. So out of all the sets that I shared with you today, which would you most like to take home with you? And so she's going to sit there, and it might be quiet for a minute because she's running through her head all her bills, what she just spent on groceries, which is out of control. Like, she's just going through all the thoughts and processes in her head. Okay, how much do I have left on this card? And where could I do this? And how much? How much of this product do I have left at home in my bath? Like, she is processing. Give her time. Allow her the space to think. She might know this question's coming eventually, but she didn't know it was going to happen right then. So she's formulating her response, thinking of what she does want or what she maybe circled on a paper, and she's going to let you know her answer. And it could be, I want it all, or I don't know, what I want or how I'm going to do it. So this is where you're going to just talk to her. Well, what would you most like if you have these products in your bathroom? Would you use them? You're going to ask her questions and overcome objections and things like that. But this is the part where you're going to let her speak and let her process. And just allow her that space and ask her more questions if she has them. Okay? And then when she says, okay, I'm going to do the miracle set. You go, okay, great. And then every time she tells you a product, you say, is that all? Is that all? Until she says, yes, that's it. Just say anything else, or, anything else, or is that all? Anything else you'd like to add? Anything else? Because they might go, oh, I really like that eye makeup remover too, or you could suggest it. So you can do what we call upsell. You can upsell. Remember the satin lip set, remember that? Oh, that's right. Oh, I love that too. Okay, yeah, I want that, and I want to get one for my daughter too. Okay, great. So you could be selling on top of your selling. All right, so she might think she just wanted this, and as you let her process and talk out loud and think out loud, she might add more and more on. Your last question there within this point is, great, how would you like to take care of that? That's it. Great, how would you like to take care of that? And then you're going to get to point number 5, and I'm going to kind of go through these quickly because I know this is getting really lengthy, but they are all so important. So point number 5 is after you've done everything, you've gotten her all checked out, you've charged everything, this is where you're going to book her for her follow-up appointment. So you are going to use the tentative booking approach and the correct booking approach. Now, I'm going to have to go over these again probably another time, but this is where you schedule her follow-up. Okay, so you're going to say, the next thing we need to do, now the way I remember this is I go, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to ask next? Because I'm kind of nervous because I just closed the sale and I just took money from someone and I'm like, that's the part I'm so uncomfortable with. And I'm like, what's next? And that cues my mind to go, oh, that's right, the next thing. The next thing we need to do is schedule your follow-up appointment. So what typically works better for you, beginning or end of the week? And this is just your script. This is your scripts that you've memorized, right? You're going to practice these and memorize your correct booking approach and your tentative booking approach. If you don't know what those are, make sure you ask your director too. And so she'll say, oh, I don't really know. Okay, well, I've got my date book out. Let's schedule something and pull your phone out. Do you have your calendar on there? And so you work with her and always give her 2 options. All right, end of the week, great. Well, I've got next weekend, or I've got Saturday this weekend or Friday next weekend. Which works better for you? I'm always giving her 2 options. And then I give her 2 times, daytime or evening. 7 or 7:30. So I'm always going to give her two options. And if she's like, oh, I don't know if my friends are going to be able to make it, I just say, you know what? This is my tentative booking approach. Why don't we do this? We're going to just schedule this for you and I, and that way we know we've got it on our calendar and you have a time to invite your friends to. And if for some reason it doesn't work out for all of them, we can always go on the understanding that we can reschedule this to a time that works better. But at least we have a place to start from. Does that work? And she'll say, okay, yeah, that sounds great. I'll let you know what my friends say. Great. And then you follow up with her in the next day to find out, make sure that she's invited her friends and see that that time works, okay? So that's point number 5. I think that's 5. Okay, and then, is that 5 or 6? I don't even know what point I'm on now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then I think that's points 5 and 6. And then point number 7 is going over your hostess program with her. So I will tell her, I want you to get a whole lot more out of this follow-up appointment than you're putting into it. So let me share with you a couple of ways that you can earn free product just for inviting a couple girlfriends to join you and for being a hostess. And I go through my hostess program. And then the last point number 8, is when I invite her to hear more about the Mary Kay opportunity. All right, so this is where I'm selecting people from every appointment to hear more about what I do so that I can share with them. And I'm sharing in a genuine way, and I let her know, you know what, I'm just going to, I just have one last question for you. And I just want to know if you've ever thought about doing something like I do, this Mary Kay business, because I would love to tell you more about how it works and how we make money. Is there any reason why I can't take you out for a cup of coffee this week and just get your opinion and tell you what I do? I'd love to offer you a free gift for getting together with me. And so I'm always offering the opportunity for her to hear about the opportunity. I'm not necessarily like, oh, girl, you need to do this. Join my team right now, right here on the spot in this like moment. But I'm giving her the opportunity to hear more about the opportunity. Unless she's sitting there across from me and she goes, girl, I want to do what you're doing. This looks so fun and I love it. Then I'm like, okay, great. Let's get you signed up. Let's get online right now. And I'm going to sign her up. But if that doesn't happen, then I want to just take the time to schedule that appointment so she can hear more about our Mary Kay opportunity. And I don't feel like I'm just putting her on the spot right in that moment. So because I've got probably like 3 or 4 or 5 other people that I need to do this individual consultation with. And that does take some time. It takes the majority of my time, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to spend 5 to 10 minutes with at least each person there. And if there's 5 there, that's going to add maybe up to 45 minutes extra on top of my party. So I want to get through my party in 45 and my individual consultations in 45. So I'm in and out of there in an hour and a half. Okay. So that is just a quick overview of the 8-point close at the individual consultation. I hope that you do this with every single person at every single appointment because they do deserve that 5 to 10 minutes with you. They are worth it. You are there to consult them. You are there to bless them. And so I just pray that this message blesses you today and that you can go out and continue to be a blessing to others. Thanks so much for calling in today, and get out there and do your 8-point close. It just takes practice. Be willing to do it, to learn, and do it over and over and over again until you have it memorized, until you have it mastered. Have a great and wonderful day today. God bless you all. Bye-bye.